During the belated day of the African Child Conference organized by Girls Not Brides Uganda on the theme Protecting and Promoting Children's Rights in Schools, it was noted by the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Atuhairwe Maureen, who heads the Child and Family Protection Unit, that many children do not report cases committed against them.
When you talk to children in schools, most of them know how to recite their rights, their right to education, to medication, to clothing, to shelter, and the likes. And that is very impressive. But it's not translating into empowering these children to come and report cases at police on their own. One, because they are prevented from reporting due to being scared by the perpetrators. They are threatened. They tell them that they are going to be killed if they ever let any information out.
The police crime report of 2022 indicates that over 13,000 cases of child abuse were recorded, and out of these, 1,240 cases constituted child abuse and torture.
The cases committed against children are on a rise. There are quite different forms of violence that are inflicted on children, one of them being sexual violence. And we look at over 12,000 cases of defilement being reported.
The Minister of State for Youth and Children's Affairs, Sarah Mateke, has urged parents and guardians to give a second chance to girls who had failed.
The COVID lockdown, we had a very serious challenge of a lot of teenage pregnancies, of course child marriages, and of course most of these girls have so far given birth. And the First Lady, through the First Lady's office, the Minister of Education, she came up with that program which she launched after the lockdown to give the girls a second chance. And the Minister of Education itself also put up guidelines for allowing these girls to go back to school. Of course, giving them a second chance is key. All of us, in one way or another, God has always given us a second chance. We are not very clean that we are supposed to be living, but God has always given us a second chance. Some of these girls did not get pregnant by choice. Some of them were defiled, others were raped.
The board chairperson, Girls Not Brides Uganda, Moses Intenga, commends the legislative framework aimed at protecting the rights of children and called for full implementation.
According to the survey, the National Survey of 2015, we saw that 1 in 3 girls, for example, is sexually abused. And 1 in 6 of the boys also is sexually abused. And so this number is not small. It shows that about 34% of these young girls are sexually abused, with a number of impact on their lives: teenage pregnancy, child marriages, sexually transmitted infections like HIV, AIDS, and others. And also they ultimately leads to dropout of school. And so it's important to reflect within our community, within our schools, how schools continued actually to promote the rights of children, even when the right to education is a right on its own.
Police crime reports have always indicated increasing cases of child abuse, and therefore the community and civil society organizations dealing with children have been urged to empower children to report cases of abuse committed against them, if possible, directly to the police. Adiana Kute, UBC.